In a world where power decides what's right and wrong, one small African nation just made a decision that shook the world. Burkina Faso, a country many in the West barely talk about, said no to the United States, not out of anger but out of dignity. And that single word no is now echoing across Africa. Recently, the United States approached Burkina Faso with a request. Washington wanted the country to accept a group of deportees, people being sent back from the US. Normally, smaller nations quietly agree to such requests. It's part of diplomacy, a way to stay in favor with global powers. But this time, something different happened. Burkina Faso's government, led by Captain Ibrahim Traoré, rejected the request. They called it indecent and against the dignity of their people. They said Burkina Faso will not accept individuals they don't recognize as citizens, especially under pressure. That calm but firm refusal instantly became a symbol of resistance. To understand why this moment matters, you have to look deeper. For decades, African nations were expected to say yes to aid conditions, military help, and political deals. But today, a new generation of African leaders is rewriting the rules. They want respect, equality, and independence. And Ibrahim Traoré stands right at the center of that change. Since taking power, Traoré has spoken openly about ending foreign interference. He expelled French troops, built ties with neighboring African nations, and started a campaign for true sovereignty. So when the US came with its deportation request, his answer fit his vision perfectly. Burkina Faso will decide for itself what happens on its land. That decision didn't go unnoticed in Washington. Soon after, the US Embassy in Burkina Faso announced changes to visa services. Some operations were suspended and others were moved to nearby countries. Officials called it logistical, but many saw it as a diplomatic response, quiet but clear. Inside Burkina Faso, though, Traoré's image only grew stronger. On social media and in local media, people celebrated his courage. One citizen said it best: "For once we said no, and we said it with respect." That simple line carried the power of a nation's pride. This isn't just about one leader or one decision, it's about what it represents. Across Africa, from Mali to Niger to Burkina Faso, countries are rethinking what partnership with the West should mean. They're not turning their backs on the world, they're asking to be treated as equals. Burkina Faso's message to America wasn't "we don't want you," it was "we want respect." And that message is spreading fast. Critics say this move could isolate Burkina Faso or hurt its economy. But supporters see something different, a turning point. They believe dignity comes before dependency. As one Burkinabe journalist said, "Our sovereignty is not for sale, it's our identity." That sentence sums up the moment perfectly. For decades, Africa was treated as a receiver of aid, advice, and orders. But now nations like Burkina Faso are setting their own terms. When France was asked to leave, many predicted Burkina Faso would collapse without Western support. But the country survived. It began building new alliances with neighbors, with other African-led coalitions, and even with countries outside the Western sphere. To some, that's a sign of strength. To others, it's a risky gamble. But whether people agree or not, one thing is clear: Burkina Faso is no longer following. It's leading, at least in how it defines its own path. This moment could be a wake-up call for how the United States and other Western powers deal with Africa. The old model of aid in exchange for influence doesn't work anymore. You can't build lasting partnerships when people feel disrespected. As more African nations choose leaders who put sovereignty first, the world will have to adapt, not by offering charity, but by offering equality. At the end of the day, this story isn't about conflict, it's about identity. It's about a small nation saying, "We may not have power, but we have pride." It's about a leader who refuses to let foreign governments make decisions for his people. And whether the world agrees or not, that kind of leadership always makes noise. As the headlines fade and news stories take over, remember this: a simple decision to reject a request just became a statement heard across continents. Burkina Faso may be small on the map, but its message is big. Respect is not requested, it's required. And maybe, just maybe, this is the beginning of a new chapter in how Africa deals with the world. This is not just politics, it's history being rewritten in real time. So if you guys like my content, then don't forget to like my video and subscribe my channel.